Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's the good stuff, gotta have it. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining me in our RV adventures here. This is going to be the last in a series of upgrades slash improvements for the RV. And today we're going up on the roof. We got a cover to go on the vent for the bathroom. This is gonna be a little tricky on the KB. The dome for the shower and the vent are like really close. I think it'll fit, so it might be a little challenge, but I think we'll get it up there. Doing a maxxair fan for the kitchen or living room area, and I'm adding one additional solar panel to give us a little boost. I already have a larger solar charge controller installed, so I'm ready to have the additional power. So let's get up on the roof and I'll show you how this goes. Look at this nonsense. This should not be there. If your roof looks like that, pop those things and get some reapply some Dicor. So fortunately we'll be doing that. I've already touched up some of the roof vent here. I've already started. I put these brackets on because it was easier to do it while I was on the scaffolding over there. But those are the brackets for that vent, which we'll get to here shortly. So now to do this job, you'll need some self-leveling Dicor and butyl tape. If you're interested, these will be in my Amazon store. Same thing with this. This is called airtight. I just have it stuck on the gun for now just to keep stuff from spitting out. But basically, there's another part of the container over there. And then when you're done with this, if you have any left, you put it together and it makes a nice airtight container, and it'll keep it good for quite a while. So now, first thing we need to do is access where these screws are. So we're just going to scrape some of this Dicor away so we can access the screws, so we can get this piece undone. You can get these things at Harbor Freight or even Amazon, possibly. Well, I'm pretty sure you can get them on Amazon. I prefer the plastic versus a putty knife just because we're dealing with the rubber roof. And that way, if I'm over here and whatever I slip, there's less chance of this thing doing any kind of damage. So let me work my way around. We'll get these unscrewed. And then what we'll do is I got to go back here, and then we got to just undo this caulking here, so that way we can lift the whole thing up. Just want to share with you how I'm getting this. See, I have the pry tool here. I'm actually using the V. I don't know why. It seems to be working pretty good. And see, we just got it going underneath, and it's prying up as well. So luckily this RV is new. This stuff hasn't been up here a long time, so if yours has been subject to the sun, maybe it'll be worse, but it's not terrible. It does take a little work, but and wow, what garbage. Look, this is what's supposed to make your RV waterproof. This ain't even butyl tape. This is just some type of foam. I'll tell you what, makes me want to take that dang vent off, but the good thing is a Dicor should, and it looks like the Dicor did, take care of everything. But this is, I said it once, I'll say it 100 times. RVs are just junk. They're pigs with a lot of lipstick. They look really nice. Don't matter how much you pay for it. They're all built by the same people on just a different day. But there we go. So let me let me check a few things and I'll get back. So you can see here's our black butyl tape squeezing out. That's good. That's what we want. Make it nice and watertight. Every place the screws go through is wrapped up in that butyl. I was only able to use the supplied screws in the 4 corners. That was the only place it grabbed. These other places, there seemed to be some type of metal, and the screws that maxxair provided did not bite into the metal. They just ground out. So I had to reuse the factory screws, which are weird because, like, this one's a slightly rounded head. This one's kind of flat. A little weird. But here's the next step. And this is where, you know, when you're doing this, you don't want to over tighten and flex and do all that. But here, this is where you want to be generous with your application. I said this is a self-leveling, so it might look goopy right now, but it will level itself out. So make sure you get it on top of the plastic shroud as well. We also want to cover all the screws. There's a secondary layer of waterproof protection. So I should have done this on the first one. I'm just going to do one bead here on top of the plastic and cover the screws, and then I'm going to go back and fill in the seams, fill in that big seam between the old die core and what we're putting in now, and then I'm going to put a little bit over the old stuff. Like I said, this stuff, it'll level and flatten itself out in time. So let me finish this, and then I'll get this fan on. I wanted to be a little on the lazy side, and I tried to leave the shroud inside in place, but that didn't work because I couldn't get this thing to drop in. So that is going to be like your first step is, oh, and I dipped this thing in the dang die core. So now, next step is to try to get this thing to drop on. And then there was metal tabs here that we had these screws that need to go into. Now here's the part you wouldn't think would be that hard. Let's try to get this stuff to line up. Sheesh. I have this thing. Well, that's pretty much it. That's oh, then all we gotta do is crimp the wires together, and that's not that hard. I'll show you. So if you're like me and are used to automotive wiring, RVs are a little weird. White is ground. Black is going to be your positive. Why they do that, I don't know. I think maybe it's the people working on it, like the Amish, don't have any electrical kind of background. And because on your house side, your AC side, white is neutral and black is hot, so maybe they just try to keep everything together that way, so it kind of makes sense to them when they wire it. They're just used to white always being the neutral. So just be a little cautious of that if you're more used to the 12-volt side of things. So, but it should make it easy, white to white. And then you got two other colors. Don't match, just line up the colors that match. And then we should have a fan that works. You know, funny thing is, I didn't really like these Maxx fans at first. I don't know, I just thought it was weird. The built-in cover. But after doing a fantastic fan on the last one, then adding a cover and all this extra stuff to it, I really like the concept. Oh, they want the auto cover. So now we have speed 50%. Oh. Oh, that's direction. So this is going to be, ah. I'll tell you what, it's fairly quiet. I think quieter than my Fantastic fan. Feels pretty good. Got a nice little breeze coming from the window here. Nice, nice. And actually, with this model, with the Compass, I didn't even have to trim this shroud at all. Now, getting these screws in, again, there's some kind of metal here that for some reason the factory screws are in just a little closer. These are out, so I had to drill a pilot hole in here to get the screws started, even though they were self-tapping. But that would just be on your Compass Gemini. Maybe they changed through the years, but this being a 2025, whatever's right here, this metal, if you saw earlier, it's like a metal frame welded into here. So if you're catching that thing, golly, that's some tough metal. But this is gonna be nice because this right here, all we have is glass up above the stove. Our last RV, we had an exhaust fan. My wife loves cooking. She really loves a lot of stuff like onions, peppers, things like that, which tend to smell. So with no other way of exhausting the fumes, this is going to be like kind of our kitchen exhaust. So she'll be able to open up a window right here in front of the stove, like I got open right here, and then we'll get a nice breeze to carry everything up and out. Now, yeah, I'd still prefer something directly above, but it is what it is. I really wasn't going to do another fan, but with no way of exhausting like fumes and that. Plus, it'd be nice. Like today, it's 70 degrees. Actually feels pretty good with the window open. All right, let's finish up that bathroom vent. All right, let's get to the vent cover here. So I made a horrible mistake. These tabs here I thought were for what they call the built-in mounting tabs. So I went and spent all this time putting this thing on here. I had to drill it out and I bolted it in and all this time. And then when I got to this side, I found out that the cover only came to like here. So I found out these are not the maxxair fan tabs. So we're gonna take this tool here, trim these off, and then this thing just screws right there to here, and we'll be done. So what I did have to do in preparation, scrape some of the die core off of these tabs. Well, I guess I didn't have to now, but you will have to clean out some of this so that way you can get this thing to lay flat. But yeah, let's get these things cut off and then check in with you. All right, so there it is. We got it screwed in. A little extra die core here. It will, like I said, level out. You can see some of the stuff we did earlier. It's kind of flattening out, even here around the maxxair fan. So I said this one here is a bit tricky because this vent is in the way. It's held in place with these pins, makes life really easy for servicing like that vent. If you ever need to get in there, you have these pins. They just kind of slide in here like so. And there you have it. There we have it. Like I said, it is hitting the vent there. I mean, it's rubbing. It's not like, I could trim this actually a little bit, but no, I'm afraid because that's, but it's not terrible. This flexes in, and then it's also kind of sitting on this right here. So not the best. Oh, you know, I didn't even think about it. When I did this, I should have put the screws up a little bit. Oh well, it's done now. Now it's the end of the day, so I'll see you tomorrow. We'll finish doing the solar. Oh, thankfully we're in the final stages of getting this RV to where I want it. I really enjoy having these things, but working on this stuff, oh, it doesn't play what my knees don't really like being bent this way as it is, but without this like fatigue pad. Oh. But anyhow, I had to unbolt the factory solar panel to get access to the cables that are in there, and unfortunately I have to flip it around in order to get all the cables to reach. So that's kind of unfortunate, because now I have to, you know, these brackets I put on aren't going to match. So here are the factory wires for the solar. This is my connector. This now goes into the RV port, and as you can see, this has 2 connectors. So this solar panel is going to go into one side, and then this solar panel is going to clip into here, and that'll complete. So this is how I'm mounting the solar panel. I'm using these brackets here by Renogy. As you can see, this is what I used on my last RV. Had it up there for 5 years, no problems. I have the 3M VHB tape that's on here that's going to hold it down. Now I am going to secure the corner pieces with 1 screw just as a little added benefit. Now what you have to be careful on, especially if you're working on the Compass and the Gemini, your AC ducts run shortly past the air conditioner. See, they screwed really close to the air conditioner, and the AC duct work runs right here alongside. So we want to be careful that we're not going to screw into any of that. So I'm going to put a screw here in line with the air conditioner. I'm not going to put anything on the center brackets. The VHB tape in itself should be enough to hold it down. Like I said, I'm just going to put 1 screw on the 4M pieces just as added security, just in case. And just so you know, all VHB tapes are not built the same. This is a really heavy duty stuff, and there will be a link. There's a link in my Amazon store under RV stuff. You can find that exact tape. Now also what 3M recommends is that you go over here, like the roof, it says on porous spaces go over twice. So basically just going to take like a small paintbrush or a rag, dip it in here, we're going to apply it to the surface, and this is just an adhesion promoter. I've already done it to here, and this VHB tape's been on here for a couple days now. I already have it marked out where it's going to go, so we're just going to go ahead and get the tape, the adhesive promoter on there. Then we're going to glue these down, drop the solar panel on, and then we should have a beautiful looking setup. Oh, also right here, because I had to flip this thing around and these holes aren't going to line up, I'm just going to put some butyl tape over the existing holes, just as an added security thing against any kind of leaks, because there won't be any screws in there. So, and yeah, I could probably put a little die core in there, but I think with the butyl tape too, once I screw down the new screws go through, they'll go through the butyl tape, and it's just added security against water leakage. So let's go ahead and get this done. I'll check back in with you. Oh, just in case you're wondering, yeah, so this is a gopower. This is a 100-watt panel. This is a 200-watt panel, where it says 190, but we like to round up. So I'll have 300 watts of solar. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm not, you know, trying to run the air conditioner or anything like that. I just want to have enough so that way I can keep that house battery charged. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is fully installed. We had the maxxair vent, we had the maxxair cover. Granted, it's not the best. I mean, it is sinking into the die core there a little bit, but it's not into the seam. It's on top, and it's not touching the screws. I might revisit that and trim some of that later. I'll have to see. It's really close to the vent, but it's not putting any pressure on it. So here we go. I did put some die core here. I put some over the screw that I sat in there, and I just put some around here on the outside edge. for two reasons. One, just like UV protection, so sun doesn't get into it, and then also, you know, if you're driving, rain, kind of protect it from any of that. Just another added protection to help this thing out, keep any wind from maybe getting underneath the here. Like I said, I used this setup on my last RV, 5 years, no problems. I do also have some of these clips here. These are like UV wire ties and that, so I did put a little of that preparation, the 3M tape prep on the roof, but that's all I really needed. These things hang out a little bit is fine. As I try to straighten it out, it's banging into the air conditioner, so there you have it. Oh, sun. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching the modifications and improvements to the Thor Compass. That's going to wrap up this. I might do one more video, just like everything I've done, because there's a few small things I never videoed, but if I do, that'll be it. So you might see that next. If not, the next trip, we're starting travel. We're going places, and yeah, so like I said, I'm not going to be one of these channels that does how to do this, how to do that, and the top 10 things you need, whatever. I'm just sharing like our journey to get this rig ready to go full-time. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And don't forget, like, share, comment. Please help us grow the channel so we can bring you more and more content. Appreciate it. Thanks.